We all just want one thing out of life, and that is fulfillment. But the thing is that most of us don't know what to do to get that fulfillment, how to keep that fulfillment, or you don't even know that it's possible and out there for you to have. Our only free will in this life is how we choose to react when we are being faced with a challenge. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel Smiles, and on this channel we talk about spirituality, law of attraction, self-development, and making every day the best it can be. So if those topics interest you, then you're definitely gonna want to subscribe below, because I make new videos every Thursday and every first Sunday of the month for a series that I call Spiritual Sunday. So today's video is going to be learning about the best ways for us to react when it looks like everything around us is falling apart. So we have expectations in life. We want things to go our way, we want it to go a specific way, and when things don't work out, we feel challenged, therefore feeling in lack, feeling like we lack something in our lives. And what do we do when we lack something? When we lack that energy, then we go and search for that energy elsewhere. We are beings that just crave energy all the time. We are so addicted, especially to instant energy. So what happens is if we don't see what we want in our life, we don't have the energy that we want in this exact moment, is we will grab onto it from external places. If we feel a lack of energy in any way within ourselves, we're always going to want to grab it from the external world. But it is in fact our birthright to be abundant. We should want things. And what stops us from reaching everything that we want? I believe that is the ways in which we react when we are faced with a challenge. So I labeled or put together what I believe are the two main reacting styles that we have as humans. And depending on which reacting style we use will be dependent on how much abundance we can allow to enter into our lives. So I know you can't really see it because of the ring light, so we're just gonna ignore that. But basically the two reacting styles are our automatic nature and our conscious being. First of all, everyone is reacting from their automatic nature until something shifts from within them, or you watch a video like this and shift it. But since we are born, we are always working on the autopilot mind, aka what I call our automatic nature. So first, let's talk about what is the automatic nature. When anything happens in life that we don't like, our natural instincts kick in and we want to react impulsively right in that moment, say whatever it is that's on our mind, do whatever it is so that we don't feel that lack within us. Because whenever we feel lack, like I said earlier, we need to grab onto that energy. These are always actions that come from that space of lack. When you feel like you're lacking something, or when you're in fear of losing something, or when you're feeling doubt of something you want happening, how we react when we feel those emotions is all under the category of our automatic nature. This is also our addiction to instant gratification. We live in a world where instant gratification is so accessible to us. Instant gratification can be, of course, drugs or self-medicating or explaining ourselves to someone, being extremely defensive, being aggressive, any form of escapism, gravitating towards food, towards drugs, towards sex, towards shopping, to yelling back at somebody, isolating ourselves, scrolling through our phones, any form of pleasure that is a form of escapism from the world around us. Our automatic nature is to impulsively react based on what hurts the least, right? We don't want to be in pain, so we're constantly trying to escape our own pain. We're constantly trying to get instant gratification so that the energy that we feel we are lacking when we're presented a challenge is instantly refilled. We want to always refill our emptiness. Now, our automatic reacting nature is what makes up 99% of how we live. Because we live in a world where there's outside stimulus all the time. There's always going to be people challenging us. There's always going to be someone that pushes our buttons, something that we don't like, and our instant response and instinct is to want to attack the person. Or maybe your instinct is to go inside and isolate yourself. We know that this is instant gratification because what happens is you feel good in the moment. You feel like you won. You feel like you're right. You feel like your problems are not there or they're masked for now. But what happens when you grab the instant gratification, it always manifests in chaos later on. When you react to someone in anger, when you're in an angry state, it will always manifest in chaos later on. Most of the time, we're just creating chaos for no reason because our ego needs to be right. It needs to feel secure. It needs to feel like things are gonna be okay. And if anything appears like it's not okay or it has the potential to not be okay, then we go into that automatic nature, react quickly, without taking the time to pause and ask yourself, why am I even fighting with this right now? What is my objective in this situation? How will me lashing out? How will me going towards this instant gratification fix or heal the challenge or the problem that is actually happening in my life right now? When we're reacting from our automatic nature, it is purely our ego just speaking through us. We don't take the chance to stop and think about why we're saying what we're saying. It is purely instinctual, and that is purely what the ego is and what the ego does. Have you ever acted out of pure anger or out of pure sadness or pure fear? Have you ever acted in those states and then there been a positive outcome? When you make decisions from that place, you will always regret it because it's not coming from the truest, purest form of yourself. It's coming purely from your ego, which is not really who you are. You're not saying what you really want to say. You're just saying whatever comes to your mind so that you could defend your ego. But also remember that you will always get back the energy that you put out. So remember, you can react and say something in a very nice and professional way, but it's the energetic state that you were in when you said the thing that you said that will manifest itself in your life. Let's say you get a scary email from work and your first instinct is to instantly want to reply back to them as quickly as possible, and even if it's in a professional way, if you're in that state of fear, then no matter what it is that you say is not going to be coming from your highest self. You're not going to say the right words. The energy that you are putting in is going to be manifested out. So we need to be aware and careful about what energetic state are we in when we're reacting. You can still send the email, but we don't want to send the email in any low vibrational state. So that leads me to the next reactive nature that we have, and that is our conscious being. Now, our conscious being is the opposite of our ego. It is our higher self. And by following it, we are actually earning the energy that we receive in our life and not grabbing it from instant gratification. Let me ask you something. If you go to your mailbox today and you see in the mail that you got a trophy for something that you didn't win, something that you didn't work for, that you didn't even participate in, but you got the trophy, are you going to be fulfilled by that trophy? It doesn't hold any meaning. It doesn't have any energy in it. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. Does the trophy itself really fulfill a person? Or is it the effort that it takes to get that trophy that gives that trophy meaning and gives it value and fulfillment in our lives? The trophy on its own means nothing. But the energy that is inside of it, when you know how hard you worked for it, that's when we get fulfillment in life. We don't get fulfillment by just receiving energy and receiving things that we didn't earn, that don't belong to us. Otherwise, it's just empty energy. Instant gratification that never fulfills us because we're always going to be searching for more. Long-term fulfillment comes from earning the energy we receive in life, not by grabbing it from instant gratification just to fill our void or our lack of energy. And how do we earn energy in life? We earn by transforming our negative nature and not reacting on impulse, not reacting with our automatic nature, but tapping into our conscious nature. So how do we connect to our conscious being, to our soul, to our higher self? How do we connect to that space when we're being faced with a challenge? When we want to react, how do we not react? What do we do instead? The first thing we want to do is we want to feel it. We want to feel the pain or whatever the emotion that comes with that challenge. We want to sit with it and feel that emotion. We want to hold back, pause, and reflect on how we are truly feeling. How did this make you feel? And why did it make you feel the way you feel? You don't need to focus on how you're going to fix the problem yet. The first step is just to pause in that moment, to take a step back and hold off from reacting. Automatically right there, just by not reacting on your instinct, you are connecting with something so much higher than yourself. And make sure you know that when you're reacting, you know where it's coming from. You know what emotion you're feeling. And we don't want to be feeling low vibrational emotions because that's going to result in chaos in our life. To step into our power, we need to collect our thoughts and know exactly what it is that we truly feel. We can still confront, we can still talk to the person, we can still react however we need to if we need to react in such a way, but we always need to be discerning of where is it coming from energetic-wise within you. Number 2 is to know that this is a test. And not only to know, but to be appreciative that the universe is giving you an opportunity right now to change something. Only want to respond in a situation when we can see that this is all for the best. If we feel like whatever is happening to us is a personal attack, then that is all the ego. Only the ego wants to say that this person is against me, everyone is against me, life itself is against me. All of that is the ego. So we never want to respond in that state. So number 2 is knowing that the universe has a divine plan, is knowing and believing that even though I can't see it, this challenge is in my life for a reason. Now pause. How do I really want to react in that state? Not in the place of ego, thinking this is a personal attack on me, but by taking back my power and saying that even if I can't see the reason, I know there is one. And from that state, then I can work on coming up with a conclusion on how I want to respond to it. And the third one is to work with your higher self, to establish a relationship and a connection with an aspect of you that is bigger than just your ego. What happens after you do the first 2 steps and you take a step back, you don't react in that moment, is that you will get access from your higher self and clarity will shine through you and you will get to a place of understanding why this needed to happen in your life. You will get an understanding of how you can react in the proper way. Once you are in a perfectly clear and positive state of mind, then you can react with the guidance and the help from your higher self. The key here is just not to react out of a negative emotion. If we want to manifest the best outcome, then don't we need to really assess what our options are? When we're acting off of our impulse, we don't have any options in that moment other than the one option that we have, which is to defend ourselves, to defend our ego, to keep us safe, keep us secure. At least in our egoic mind, we think we're protecting ourselves by lashing out, by being right all the time. But of course that's not going to manifest well for us because we're not observing our options. We're not really taking the time to hold back what we're gonna say and think for a moment, maybe I can be more mindful in this situation. Maybe I can tap into something higher and maybe there's something I'm just not seeing. I'm taking this situation personally, but maybe this situation has nothing to do with me at all. If we don't take that moment to pause, to hold back, then we're never going to assess our options and our life is completely on our automatic nature and we're not in control of anything. But if we can hold back, we can pause and we'll know that we handled it in the best possible way. And whatever's going to unfold from there will be the best. If we're reacting from our ego, it's always going to result in chaos and we're always going to look back and regret our decision. We want to come from a place of love. Again, you get back the energy that you put out. If you put out love, that's the outcome that you're gonna get back. So we always want to handle it in love. All about the state that you are in, your emotions. What are you feeling in the moment of you reacting? If somebody hurts you and you are confronting them in that state of still being hurt, that is gonna result in chaos. What I'm saying is if, for example, if someone hurts you, to take a moment and reflect, assess all the options. Maybe they didn't mean to, maybe this and that was happening in their life and they're not in the right mind, or maybe it is personal towards me, and if it is personal towards me, what do I need to learn? What do I need to change? And what is the universe trying to show me through this person hurting me in this way? If we look at our life like it's always people and things placed in our life to show us something, to learn something, to evolve us into our best version of ourselves, then we don't take things personally. Then our ego mind doesn't need to get so involved because we know that everything's for the best. And yes, we all have that part of us that's impulsive and just wants to tell that person off and wants to be right and wants to feel in control. But if we truly want to have control over our lives, then we won't let external people or external situations affect our internal state. We won't need to react so impulsively. We can hold back those urges so that we actually have the steering wheel of our life. People can trigger us externally, but how we react will dictate how our life will unfold from that point on. And also, it's not always the right thing to stay silent. Sometimes you need to put up boundaries. Sometimes you actually need to stand up for yourself, and the automatic egoic thing that you want to do is to go inside. For some people, that's how they are. Some people don't lash out when they're reactive. Some people go inside and they isolate themselves. In that case, sometimes staying silent in a situation is running away. Whatever your natural tendencies are, that is usually the ego. And we want to do the opposite of that, but not in a reactive way. And again, when I say reactive, I'm talking about the state that we are in, the energetic state that we are in when we're doing that action. If we notice that we're sad, so we're walking away, maybe in that moment, what holding back means is holding back that urge to walk away and actually standing in your power and facing that fear or facing that sadness head on and actually standing up for yourself. Maybe the best step is to confront, but how you do it needs to come from the right place. So how do we actually get to the right place so it can come from a place of love? Once you pause, once you hold back and you recognize that you are reacting off of a negative emotion, what's the next step? What do we do next? So the first thing is to acknowledge the voice of our ego. Acknowledge how the ego is working for us. That driving force, that voice that just says, react right now. Defending yourself. You're doing the right thing. And just being aware of our triggers, you know? Like, where does our automatic nature really come in? And where do we get super defensive? Where do we instantly want to break down and yell at the person? Where do we seek that instant gratification? What emotion are we feeling when we're grabbing for instant gratification? When you're grabbing for the medication, what are you feeling? When you're grabbing for the food from the fridge when you're not even hungry, what are you feeling? When someone says something to you that you don't like and you want to react instantly, what are you feeling? This is about analyzing the voice in your head that wants to react and ask, where is it coming from? And instead of reacting off of that urge, how can I take a step back and really assess where it's coming from? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Let me first heal that area. Let me first get to a place where I'm not feeling this feeling anymore before I go to the instant gratification, because maybe I don't even want that instant gratification, but I'm grabbing onto it because I need that instant energy. We are beings of energy. We want instant energy. If we feel a lack, we feel like we need it to be filled externally. But the key here is to understand that that's an illusion. We don't need external things to give us happiness. So first, find out the root of why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And by working through those emotions, when you come out on the other side, when you come from a place of love, that instant gratification is no longer appealing to you because you've changed. Because now you are aiming and striving for longevity, for fulfillment for the long term. Number 2 is to ask for guidance from the universe, from your higher self, from your soul, and also from other people. Now, when I say from other people, I don't mean to rely on what someone else says to you and take their word and only do what people say to you for their validation of things. But when I say other people, I mean work with the universe and ask the universe to give you a message through other people. So if I decide I need an answer on how I should react in this situation, what I will do is first I will have my communication with my higher self and with the universe. I really want to get to know that part of myself, see what I can figure out on my own without the need of anyone's validation or help. And then what I will do is I will choose one person that wants the best for me, and I will be open to whatever they have to say, being of service and being of use to me in my situation, as if it's coming directly from the universe. Like I'll say to the universe, give them a message that's directly from the universe that I need to hear in this moment, something for me to consider. Now, at the end of the day, you always need to go based on your intuition, not what your ego wants, not how you need to react and micromanage the situation, but what you feel is the right thing to do. And then whoever you talk to about it, if you ask the universe to send them a message to that person, then they will have a message that will add on to what you already intuitively know to do. Now, when you make your decision, I want you to be so certain in your decision, so in your power. I want you to feel that whatever the decision is that you have decided to make, you stand by it, that you are confident. You don't need anyone's validation that your decision is the right decision, because intuitively you've decided this is how I'm going to react in the situation. Now the ego is going to want to come in with the doubts. Those thoughts are going to come in. So when you intuitively make your decision on how you're going to react from a loving place, then you want to keep that word to yourself. And maybe what your intuition says, don't even react, don't even respond, then that's what you want to follow. Even when those loneliness voices come in, always be attentive to the state you are in when you're hearing these thoughts. Before you take any action, before you react to any challenge, what state of mind are you in? Now, the last one is that we want to be able to balance out, being able to create boundaries so that people don't walk all over you. Also, being in your power. Now, being in your power doesn't mean causing unnecessary conflicts or drama. Remember that everything that happens on a global level, it all starts from within. If we can't ourselves hold ourselves back from saying something negative to someone else, from reacting negatively in situations, then how can we expect on a global level for the world to control these reactive urges? It always starts from internally. We always need to focus on healing ourselves first, controlling our negative impulses first, and being the bigger person pays off on such a bigger level than you would ever think. Now listen, I want to end off this video by saying that we will always mess up, and that's okay. Like I said in the beginning, 99% of how we react in this world is from our automatic nature. The goal of this video, the goal of me talking about this, is just to be more aware of where we're coming from when we're reacting. We're still going to react. We're not always 100% of the time going to be able to stop ourselves and restrict ourselves, hold ourselves back. But the more we practice and the more we acknowledge it, the better that we become, the happier that we realize we're going to be, because it's going to manifest in more love in our life, because the energy you put out is the energy you get back. But we're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. There's no point to beat ourselves down, to say that we're bad or that we're doing the wrong thing. If we're trying, we're doing the right thing, and we're doing amazing. And being kind to yourself is more important. It's the most important thing out of anything. So take the time to build yourself up to come from a place of love. Whenever you need to react in a situation, the goal should always be trying to come from a place of love, and then you will start to see love and happiness and positivity being reflected back to us in our lives. So that's all for me in this video, guys. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, please leave a like down below and also hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!